What's going on, guys? Climate Data Report here with the Thursday weather update for Thursday, July 13th, 2023. Taking a look at the national picture map, you can see we have a lot of things going on, especially in the southwest and the deep south where we have extreme heat. Heat indexes well over 100, many places over 110. Some places are going on close to nearly 30 days in a row with temperatures over 100 degrees. This is dangerous heat. It's been causing a lot of heat-related illnesses, including heat strokes and dehydration. Please, if you can, limit your time outdoors in these areas, and if at all possible, just stay indoors and drink plenty of water. Remember to check on your elderly people and neighbors, friends, family. In the Northeast, we have active weather. Yet again, we have severe thunderstorms that are ongoing now. In New York State, we have a severe thunderstorm watch up in the Northeast. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch up in the Ohio Valley as well, where there will be multiple rounds of severe weather. And in the Northeast, we do have flash flood watches up, not only for today's event, but also tomorrow as well, where we do expect this front to slow down, and there could definitely be some flash flooding concerns from Maine, back all the way back even into Pennsylvania. I know there's no flash flood watches up in Pennsylvania or Maine, but those areas are going to be included as well, because this front is essentially going to stall somewhere along the I-95 or I-84 corridor. So this is something we're going to have to pay close attention to. Let's do a brief look in at radar. And yes, you can see up in Canada, those red boxes. Yes, those are tornado warnings up in Canada. There is the possibility of a tornado or two in New York State today. I think the main threat is going to be straight line winds, but you know what? A tornado cannot be ruled out. The environment is favorable. You can see there are already ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings near the Syracuse area and near Watertown. Watertown's actually under a severe thunderstorm warning. It's a pretty nasty squall line that's forming. But if any cells get going ahead of this, as you can see, there's another broken up line that's trying to form. That's where there could potentially be a tornado or two, and that's what's triggering the tornado warnings up in Canada. Let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center, not only for today, but for the next several days. And let's go to the day one outlook. Here we go. As you can see, there's an enhanced risk of severe weather across western Vermont and much of upstate New York. Slight risk extends back into Ohio Valley. There is also another slight risk in the plains, and across the Tennessee Valley on westward towards Texas. There is a marginal risk of severe weather for today. The Day 2 outlook shows Oklahoma and portions of Kansas is under a slight risk for tomorrow. A marginal risk is in effect on the East Coast from North Carolina on up into portions of southern New England. Could that get upgraded to a slight risk? I guess it's possible. But I think the bigger threat for tomorrow is going to be flash flooding, and I'll show you that on the RGEM model in a moment. There is a marginal risk of severe weather for the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley again on Saturday. Something we're not terribly concerned about that at this time, but it's something we're going to be watching. All right, this we are terribly concerned about. First off, there, believe it or not, is a moderate risk of excessive rainfall in portions of Mississippi today. Slow-moving showers and thunderstorms, which could lead to some flash flooding. We also do have a slight risk of excessive rainfall in the Ohio Valley today. Then there is a moderate risk that is in place across portions of the Northeast. You can see southern Vermont, western New York, parts of almost into New Hampshire, and almost into northwest Massachusetts. Then there's a slight risk around that. And the problem is, there's going to be a lot of water released from these thunderstorms that come from the line or the broken line ahead of it. And this area is already still trying to clean up from the flooding from last Sunday into Monday. Therefore, it's not going to take much to aggravate flooding concerns again. And honestly, I do think tomorrow, at least for Massachusetts, maybe back into Connecticut, maybe even portions of New York, I think tomorrow could also get upgraded to a moderate risk. Right now, it's a slight risk. I would not be at all surprised if a moderate risk gets added in here. Let's show you the RGEM model, because this is really impressive. So here's the RGEM for today. You can see some thunderstorms do get going in the plains, and you also have those thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley. There's the squall line across New York State. It will make it into Vermont. Once it crosses New Hampshire and gets closer to Maine, it should fall apart because we're going to lose the heating of the day. Now watch what happens tomorrow. You do have another round of thunderstorms back across the plains. That could be severe. And that could be enhanced risk-worthy almost. We'll see. Because this is pretty impressive on the RGEM model. But look what happens in the Northeast. You get these clusters and segments and training lines that do set up. And not only tomorrow, there'll be another threat again on Saturday. As you can see, I have now pushed into Saturday night here in the model. Yet another wave comes. The front kind of gets a little more east, but another wave comes from the west, and this all meets up. And look at this. You do have training segments. Boston, this is a concern to you. Yes, look at that. Heavier rainfall, heavier storms over Vermont as well. Let's take a look at the precipitation amounts. And you can see the RGEM model is showing the heaviest rainfall being across Long Island, Connecticut, on up through Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. It would not surprise me if you get a really heavy training segment going, 3, 4, even 5+ inches of rain in a very short time with any one of these training segments. Other than that, it will be widespread 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, which some places only need a half an inch of rain to cause flooding concerns. Southeast Pennsylvania, I need to mention this as well. There are some other high-resolution models that are showing heavier rainfall over the weekend. Should that happen, flooding risk there as well. Look at the Carolinas, North Carolina, parts of South Carolina, parts of Virginia. Yes, there's some flooding concerns there as well. And look at the Florida Panhandle. The RGEM model is showing isolated 6+ inches of rain. So there's a lot of flooding concerns over the next several days. And that is going to be what we are most concerned about, is flash flooding. Again, I'm going to say it again, in the Northeast. It wouldn't surprise me if you get some training segments, 3 to 5 inches plus rainfall falls in a short period of time. And as we know, we saw last weekend, that can lead to road washouts and a whole bunch of issues. Alrighty, folks, that does it for today's weather update. If you're in the path of the flash flooding, or if you are in the extreme heat areas, please stay safe and be weather aware. We'll have another update either tomorrow or again on Saturday. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button down below. If you know anyone that needs to know this life-saving information, please, by all means, share it with them. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Enjoy your Thursday.